Boys, let's get into this. We got so much to talk about.
Someone give Gaffer a throat lozenge or something, because I've never seen that audio level hit red so many times in my life.
We're going to have to EQ this. Men's Physique fans from all over the world, welcome to the Men's Physique Show, where the sport lives. I have my incredible brothers, my host, my co-host, hailing out of Melbourne, Australia. I'm talking about the man who has an elite, keen sense when it comes to coaching, when it comes to identifying the most exquisite athletes in the world. I'm talking none other than the Australian voice of men's physique himself, Bill Naselli. Let's go. And back on U.S. soil, you know him, the culture himself, the man, the myth, the one who's been feeding us, literally, the Men's Physique Show, the Men's Physique news, constantly building us up, building the division up. I'm talking none other than our boy, the heartbeat of Men's Physique, Hart McGrath. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Hart. Let's go.
And it's your boy, the Gaffer, Aleem Bolton, hailing out of Atlanta and just coming out from the Atlanta Pro Show, Wings of Strength. Woo! Boys, let's get into this. We got so much to talk about.
Someone give Gaffer a throat lozenge or something, because I've never seen that audio level hit red so many times in my life.
We're going to have to EQ this.
Gentlemen,
I'm stoked.
the men's physique community, a.k.a. the Horde, I got 3 words for all of you. And we're looking at those 3 words. Phil, what am I about to say?
Tell him.
TDK. The DELT King. Let him know, Hart.
I've never seen anything more beautiful in my life than Corey Morris at the Atlanta Pro. And I've never heard anything more beautiful than hearing our very own, the Gaffer, talk about this in person. Aleem Bolton, guys, if you don't know, was boots on the ground for this show. And he's going to break down what he saw in person. And I'm going to hold on to my seat, to the top of the car and buckle my seatbelt. Aleem, what'd you think of this guy?
First and foremost, before we even start doing a deep dive into the physique itself, let's talk about the air that Corey Morris, the DELT King himself, walks around with backstage before he even steps up the stairs, before he even gets up the stairs to the stage itself. Backstage, you have to understand, he's wearing an aura and an air about him that just screams, I have come to dominate, and you will not take this victory away from me. Not today, not while I am an IFBB pro and I'm in this league. It is not happening, and certainly not on my soil, not on Atlanta, Georgia soil. It's not happening. So Corey Morris had the perfect tan. He had a glaze that was so pristine, the way that the lighting reflected off the glaze. Some guys look dry. Sometimes when you get glazed, your body will literally absorb the glaze, and you'll look dry. You'll initially look ready for the lights, the cameras, the action, but by the time you get up there, you're dried out. Okay, happened to Ryan Clark. He had to get glazed a couple of times because the skin was just absorbing so much. Corey had it perfect from the start. Perfect. He stepped on stage. The tan was beautiful. It was completely even. There were no flaws in the tan. The color was perfect. Choosing the right color tan is so imperative when you step on stage, because when those lights hit, it can fade you out. You can start losing lines. Makes it difficult to see. His was perfect. And then the way he had the white and gold shorts on, that contrast. What a contrast against the hue of the tan. It was perfect. That is what made everyone's eyes gravitate. You saw almost like this glow about him because of the glaze. Your eyes were attracted to him because he has a tall stature. And then you're looking at the board shorts and you're like, wow, he's got bright board shorts. Everyone else has dark board shorts on. He just stood out purposely. He had no fear whatsoever. Now let's start talking about the physique. Corey Morris has streamlined the arms and the delts. The delts are still absolutely some of the most capped delts, if not the most capped delts in the entire division. The arms have come down. He stopped doing a lot of arm training, triceps extension, bicep curls, the whole nine. And he filled his chest out more. So his chest got even more bubbly than it used to be. Last year, I felt like he was a little too full. Like he looked a little like too much everywhere. This year, he kept the waist small. So he kept the fullness up top. He kept the fullness in the upper lats. He brought up his lower lats, and he kept his waist exceptionally small. I would have to say that Corey Morris, and boys, correct me if I'm wrong here. You got eyes like I got eyes. But would you say that Corey Morris, in terms of the proportions, has the best and most exaggerated clavicle shoulder to shoulder ratio, waist ratio in the entire league? I don't think anyone has a smaller waist and wider clavicle. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, the ratios and the proportions on this guy are second to none. There's no one coming close in the current era that has a ratio like Corey, proportions and ratio like Corey Morris does. One thing that I noticed in regards to Corey, I said it throughout the whole week. We all said it throughout the whole week that what we saw at Tampa last week was the best version of Corey that we've ever seen. I'm scrapping that because what we saw in the last couple of hours is the best version of Corey Morris that we've ever seen. I mean, to your point, Gaffer, that chest was even fuller. But the one thing that I noted last week was in regards to that midsection. It wasn't as dry as what it needed to be. Scrap that. Because Corey and Cuss went back to the drawing board, and now the ab section was even deeper, more conditioned, more detailed than what we saw in Tampa last weekend, and overall made that physique stand out even more and even better than what we saw in Tampa only 7 days ago. But Hart, what do you think, man? You've been covering Corey for a while now. Tell us.
Just look at the face.
Says it all, right?
Look at the face of Corey Morris. Is that not spewing with confidence? Overload. Ain't no one stands a chance. I am the undisputed Atlanta Pro champion. I'm headed to Olympia for the 200th time. Enough said. Corey Morris, boys.
13 times pro wins. And you're talking about his face was so drawn in, bro, straight skin on bone was his face. He was healed. Look at his serratus in the front. Look at the rectors in the back. Look at the way that the cap delts go into have that incision into the tricep and the bicep right there. And you can see the separation, the striations in the delts themselves when he does that move. And that when he does that move, when he does that transition from back to the front and he sweeps across that left side and you see all the lines in the obliques and the serratus and the intercostal muscles going all in the interior exterior obliques right there. The ab cage, like you said, Avon, was more etched than it was last week. If Corey Morris would have brought this look last week, I mean, he couldn't get better points. At that point, I mean, he convincingly beat Kaiki. There wasn't one judge that gave it to Kaiki. I mean, he convincingly beat him. But man, what would we see this week if he had that look last week? What would we have seen? Oh, I know what we're going to see. We're going to see Corey Morris at the Texas Pro, and then we're going to get a chance to see what that looks like because Corey Morris will be doing the Texas Pro, baby. Let's go.
He ain't leaving.
No way.
He ain't leaving.
Yes,
no
way.
way.
That is huge.
No way.
Corey Morris will be in the building and on the stage. Texas Pro this weekend coming up.
So who wants to show up to that?
I tell you this, anyone who doesn't show up, that says a lot about you. I mean, if you're running because someone's got their guns out, I mean, just pull your guns out. That's all. Ryan Clark ain't scared. I can tell you that. Ryan Clark doesn't run.
I'm going to say something about. Oh, sorry, Gaffer.
No,
I want to say something. I want to say something because I'm going to put it on the record right now. I'm looking at the camera when I say this. If Corey brings this look to the 2026 Mr. Olympia, we know that he finished 9th last year. If you're in that top 8, you better be shaking your boots because Corey Morris is coming. Pause.
Who would you? Hey, that was so good. That was so pause. Hart, top 8 guys. Okay, who is Corey Morris? Who's Corey Morris gonna replace? And all they're gonna hear is "Move, bitch, get out the way." In Atlanta fashion, Atlanta ludicrous fashion. Who's gonna be moved out the way? And how far does he go? Who do you think? I can give you names.
Well, let me look up top 10 men's physique Mr. Olympia last year. So who is he moving out? I think Ryan Terry's taking this year's Mr. Olympia. With you guys know I feel pretty solid about that. I think Ali's going to stay in that top 5. Brandon, top 3. I mean, I've always thought there's a possibility with Corey Morris swapping with Aaron Banks. Maybe Aaron Banks doesn't fall back to 9th, but I mean, you look at these two guys, you could make a really good case of, why isn't Corey in an Aaron Banks position over the last 4 or 5 years? Such similar physique, similar structures. I think he could push Aaron Banks out of the way. I think he could push Edvan Palmera out of the way. I think he can push Jushin He out of the way. I think he can push Andre Dayu out of the way. Jeremy Wayne Diaz not doing it. And then you have Corey Morris. So again, I think the bigger question to all of this is what's stopping Corey Morris from actually getting top 5 at the Mr. Olympia? Because he's never been top 5. And we're looking at a physique that looks like it could very well be the Mr. Olympia.
You say something very, very interesting about the swap with Aaron Banks. And yeah, they have similar physiques, but they have different physiques. I mean, Aaron Banks has a small waist, but nowhere near the miniature stature that Corey Morris' waist exists at. I mean, his waist looks like they cast a spell on it and shrunk it. Like, how they shrink in voodoo, they shrink heads. They shrunk his waist and did some type of a spell.
It's so unfair. It's so unfair.
And now he's got this like ridiculous. He has a waist like a 5-year-old with abs. I mean, you don't see this small of a waist. Is it even in the 20s? His waist? I'm wondering, is it even like a 21 inch? I mean, it's so small. And bro, his clavicle, and in person, it's even crispier. Like the level of conditioning that Cuts and Corey were able to get to. I mean, maybe it was a good thing that they had that little breakup for a quick second, because whatever happened there, it jump started this look, and this look is incredible. It's hard to even say Edvan Palmera moving out the way because Edvan looks ridiculous this year. But I got eyes in my head, and I'm just saying, like, I can see Corey Morris knocking, to your point, Aaron Banks, whose core has been questionable lately. I mean, he has an athletic build for sure, but these proportions are a true X frame. I mean, he is X'd. The only other person I've seen can be X'd this much is Dallas Botchway. And Dallas doesn't have this level of muscularity on such a tall frame. I'd have to give it to Corey for the frame size, the posing. His obliques are actually even more etched than Dallas Botchway's. And when he does that move where the rectors pop out and he's kind of doing that Hendrickson squeeze variation and those rectors go crazy. Wow, boys. Wow. That's all I can say. In person, it's not a game. When he turned to the back, you should have heard the crowd. The crowd in Atlanta, they're already rooting for him. But the entire crowd, I mean, if the judges would have not given him first place, there would have been a revolt. There would have been judges like Vlad the Impaler. They would have been on stakes coming out of the Georgia International Convention Center tonight because the crowd was like, no, that's the guy. And Ryan Clark man, he looked phenomenal. He gave a fight. But Corey Morris is on such another tier. I think Corey Morris has advanced to that top 5 category tier of athlete that we see. And I think that the physique that we are going to see in the Texas Pro is going to be the exclamation point to that, in my humble opinion. What do you think?
Hey, I got a question. I got a question for you. Go back to the last couple of posts, because I've seen something. Go again.
Stories or posts?
Story. Sorry. Go to that one. Leave it there. Leave it there. I've seen something similar to this in my time. A similar photo, a similar setup. Have you seen a similar setup to this in the past couple of years? And if so, let me know. Or a similar look to this.
You mean Aaron and Brandon?
No.
A similar look to this? Tall versus short? Raymond Edmonds versus Brandon? Who are you thinking about?
Yeah.
2019
sure.
Raymond
That's right.
Edmonds versus Andre Ferguson.
Yes, of course, 100%.
The height,
Yeah.
the height versus the tall versus short, different sort of physiques. This is exactly what it looked like when I saw these guys come up 1 and 2. It just reminded me of 2019 when Raymond won the 2019 Olympia, and I just remember him standing right next to Andre Ferguson. It gave me the exact same. I had the exact same feeling when I saw it, because when I look at when I look at these two guys, I mean, let's talk about Ryan Clark. We spoke about Corey. Let's talk about Ryan now. I think it was Jeremy Buendia who said in a comment that Ryan was the most improved athlete of 2026, and I fully stand by that. I stand with him, I should say, because this guy has always been in the conversation, but he came, I think, a couple of 4th places, a couple of 2nd places, a couple of 1st places. So it's not like he was missing, but I just feel like the impact that he has made in 2026 has been so much stronger than what it's been in the last couple of years. And you can clearly understand why. I mean, the physique has improved. To your point, Gaff, I know you said earlier this week that the scar on his back was always an Achilles heel for him. He's obviously been getting some tissue, some scraping done, all that sort of stuff, which has actually improved that scar tissue where it's not as noticeable as what it has been in the past. The polish on this guy is freaky. Is there a guy that nails polish like this guy so consistently, especially in the 2026 season? Obviously, Yoda is the man behind the scenes. I know, Gaffer, you did an interview with Ryan just before he jumped on stage, or maybe it was just after the athlete check-in, where he said he fully trusts his coach. If his coach made him go outside, eat soil, put water on it and down it, he will do so. And that's the level of trust you need to have behind the guy that's giving the direction. And you can see the relationship that Neil and Ryan have. You can see just by working with Ryan over the last couple of months, couple of years, what he's been able to do, this physique, because like I said, it is the best version of Ryan Clark that I have ever seen to date. It's another claim that I said last week. I'm going to scrap that one as well. I might need to stop saying that line too many times, because this physique, again, was so much better than what we saw at Tampa. But Gaffer, you were front row of this. You saw these guys face to face. You saw them in person. What'd you see in Ryan Clark over the last couple of hours?
Hart, can you go back to his posing? So I remember a couple of months ago when an athlete that I'm not going to name, and I bring this up a few times. I brought this up a few times, and I just want to say this again because I know they're not going to eat crow, and they're not going to say, "Yo, I had it wrong" or anything like that. But I remember when they said Ryan Clark will never have a good looking back. He's never going to be any type of top 15. When he said that the scar on his back is just it's too noticeable, it's unfixable, and like he's doomed. Like it is what it is, and he can't advance anymore. And I said, I saw Ryan Clark with my own eyes in the posing room at Carbon Gym here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I know what I saw. And the three of us have eyes like a hawk. We have eyes like a hawk and minds like a crow or a raven. Okay, so I saw it. I know what I saw. And I know what it looks like to have a complete physique and what it takes in order to overcome your deficiencies. And I saw he did that. So I just want to again point out, like you said, Phil, the guy had a scar and now has made it look almost symmetrical with the right side. And that's something that is so difficult for any Jeremy Beduya had to say, because he had something similar. And he knows how difficult it is because he wasn't able to pull it off. Ryan Clark has essentially pulled it off. Now let's look at the back right here. Look at the rectors. That's, as Phil says, dick skin peeled, pause. Okay? He is shredded. It looks like centipede legs going up his lower back right there. Then when he actually gets into the pose, look how dense his lower lats are. Look at the density. All right? You see the traps from top to bottom. The rhomboids pressing right through. You see the teres. You see the rear delts. I can see his front delts poking out from facing the curtain. He's flexing the triceps, which just gives it a really nice look. Maybe I like to see his elbows come in, his forearms come in a little bit. Not his elbows, but his forearms come in a little bit. But he has to kind of do that in order to balance, because he plays with that left side a little bit and gets it and sets it right so that it gives the apparent. Again, hide your weakness, show your strengths. He hides the weakness, sets it, level sets it correct, and gets into his pose. And he does it quickly. So it's not like he's struggling, looking for it. He knows exactly what to do, gets into it, and boom, he locks in. The back looks great. One of the best, like, from the time of the Olympia to right now, one of the best back developments you will see. If you are trying to develop your back, you don't have a strong back, you need to DM Ryan Clark 1,000,000 times and get the secret sauce, because he's got it. Or Neil Yoda. But you probably have a better shot with Ryan, because Yoda don't play. He's busy. Okay. Can you go to the front? By the way, those Manifest Galaxy board shorts. Woo! Let's go Manifest.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Gaffer, with that one.
I mean, come on, bro. Those are so fire. I saw a lot of Manifest today. It was dope. But, bro, his chest has come up. His chest has density. His shoulders are capped. Look at those cap shoulders, bro. Come on, man. What are y'all looking at if you don't see this? And then look at that etching on the ab cage and the striations right on those obliques all the way down, bro. He's got more lines right now than he did last week in the Tampa Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, y'all. With the
Agreed.
smile.
Agreed.
With the smile. Hard. Do you see what we're seeing, bro? Are we tripping?
Phil, do you see what we're seeing?
My eyes don't lie. And I see exactly what you're seeing. What are you seeing, Hart?
I see, and I want to go to the video of both of them. Boys, we're talking about a guy who most of the league counted out of not being capable of doing what he's done the last 2 weeks in a row. I mean, he's standing side by side Corey Morris, and there's multiple comments saying Ryan Clark should have won this. People wouldn't be saying that if they didn't understand the type of athlete Ryan Clark has become. Who can stand next to Corey Morris and it still be a battle in this league and have a completely different shape to your body? I think very, very few guys. Phil, you talked about it last episode. The last man that Ryan Terry lost to was the DELT King. And 2-3 years later, we now have Neil Yoda Hill's prodigy, Ryan Clark, looking better and more improved than he's ever been. And I'm so happy to see it for this guy. I'm just happy, really happy.
What level of synergy between he and Neil Yoda Hill, the elite level of coaching you have to be on to take a physique like that in such a short period of time and add that level of detail, mass in all the right places, and then the dedication of the athlete to trust the process and put the work in every day, day in and day out, and have delayed gratification. And now look at him now. He lost by 1 point at the Chicago Pro. Stop playing with me. 1 point to City Poirier.
Rare.
Let's go.
That's rare, Phil. You coach athletes from around the world. You've turned guys pro. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, You need, like I said earlier, you need to have that level of trust with your coach. End of the day, you need to just be that type of guy who's coachable. You need to be that type of guy who's willing to put in the work, be consistent. And if there is one man who is the epitome of consistency, it is Ryan Clark. He's been at this for years. He's been dealing with scrutiny and backlash and, people saying that he was never good enough to crack the top 15 and whatnot. This is what happens when you put pressure on an athlete of this caliber. This is when you put a pressure on an athlete who knows his potential and knows his strength. And when you link up with one of the best coaches in the world, it's a recipe that's only going to blossom and succeed. I mean, we've seen what Neil's been able to do with athletes in all divisions. Ryan's another example of what he's able to do. So I'm so stoked and rapt to be able to see what Ryan has been able to do in the 2026 season. I think for sure now he's got enough points to qualify for the Olympia. Do you know if Ryan's going to be doing Texas next week, Gaffer, or was he shutting it down?
No, he's shutting it down to the O.
Yeah,
he's shutting it down to the O. He's good on points. Hey, I want to say two last things on Ryan real quick, okay? One is that one of the most respected judges, Kelly Webb, I was there front and center, right there in front of him. Kelly Webb came up to Ryan Clark and said, a lot of people don't know this, but they had a little spat because Kelly Webb came up to him and gave him a placing that he felt was some BS. Ryan talked about it on our show, and Ryan felt like Kelly was like, I know you wanted to punch me in my face. I know you was pissed. I mean, I saw it in your face. I heard you, like you were mad. But I'm coming up to you right now, straight up, man to man, and I'm telling you, you look phenomenal. I've never seen this version of you. You shocked all of us. All of our mouths dropped when we saw you. And this is the look you need to ride with. You need to come with this look. This was hands down the best look you've ever had, and you shocked us. He said every judge, Mo, Mike, all of them were there. He shocked them. That's how good he looked. So shout out to Ryan Clark and Neil Yoda for bringing what you're supposed to bring to the table, which is the best version of yourself you can possibly fucking bring. And then the other thing I want to say, the last thing, Ryan Clark, the Gaffer Games. Check out his helicopter game, okay? Dope as hell. Dope as hell. Ryan Clark is a pilot, and if you see what's happening in the Gaffer Games right there, you just passed it, go up. Keep going. Right there. Yep.
And you know what?
You know who that guy is to the left?
Yoda.
Yeah, you see the Yoda on his shirt?
I see his shirt.
I saw the
I saw that. That's why someone said Brandon. I saw someone say B. Henny. AJ said B. Henny.
This is actually pretty hard because, I mean, I was trying to play this morning and I'm trying to stop the game when Ryan's in the middle there, and it's actually a lot harder than what it seems. But guys, if you want to pass some time, get involved with the men's physique community, definitely head over to the Gaffer Games. Follow it. Gaffer's dropping games left, right, and center. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure to follow it, get involved. As soon as you do hit the target or what you need to do, upload it to your story and tag us, because we're going to reshare it to obviously push it out and get more people involved as well. But what I was also going to talk about was something else, because if we're going to move into third place now, there was one man, before we get into this, Hart, who spoiled the party for a lot of people. You know what I'm talking about, Hart? You know what I'm talking about, Gaffer? Because we jumped on it. Me and Hart were on a call while we were waiting for Gaffer, and we're like, we don't think anyone nailed Physique League this week. But, Hart, how many people did nail it this week?
That's right. If you're looking at Gaffa's screen right there, 2 people have won. I believe it's 280, 270 or 280. I got to add it up again. But out of everyone, and everyone was really close. Everyone kind of understood. It's between Corey and Ryan Clark. And a lot of people had Corey or Ryan Clark. Davion Shepard, congratulations for 14 timesing your money. Is that the right word to say that? It got 6 likes. I love it. Corey, Ryan, Ismail. That's one of 2 winners. Shep will be receiving $135, $140. Aleem was very close. Very, very close. Got it wrong. Bodybuilding Center Stage. We love his work over there. He was close. A lot of people had Thomas Coons in there. You see the Weston in there. Dennis Kloster's IFBB Pro, who won it last week. But our boy, Kurt Sikoria, Man, to this
Kurt.
day, I still mess up that last name. It's such an easy last name. Sakura. Did I say that right?
Sakura? He's going to let us
Kurt,
know
we love
about
you.
it.
Kurt, just know we love you, and I know I'm going to get a DM from you, but congratulations. You also
Congrats,
won.
Kurt.
Corey, Ryan, Ismail. I mean, boys, this is the second week of Physique League, and we had a $270 pot. Massive shout out to Neogen Labs, by the way, for sponsoring this week. They sponsor a lot of the pros, mainly in men's physique. They put their money where their mouth was. They put $100 in the pot to start, and 17 other players paid to play. Last week, we had 7 people win. This week, the 2 players that won were also paid players, so they will get paid out. Absolutely crazy.
Bro, where can you go and put $10 up and walk away with $130, $140 other than Vegas? Like in one day.
There's not many places in the world. Not many jobs pay that well in an hour as well.
Even if you're in a street pharmacy game, it still has to flip a few times before it gets to that magnitude, right? So like even that way, even the illegal way, still takes a lot longer, or it's going to take longer to flip it. Jeez.
This is why Physique League. This is why Physique League's the best prediction game in the world. So if you haven't been a part of it, make sure to be a part of it. We've got the Texas Pro going down this week. That's going to be a big show to be a part of. Now, we obviously heard Corey's doing the show. We're not too sure who else is doing the show, but stay tuned for the Physique League post when it goes live this week. Let's talk about number 3, though.
Let's talk about him.
Let's talk about number 3, because this is the guy that spoiled a lot of parties, spoiled the party for a lot of people playing Physique League. Ismael, how do you say the surname, Hart? Martinez?
Perfect. Beautiful. Nicely done, Phil.
Just rolled off the tongue speaking about all these South Americans. Martinez.
Martinez.
But Gaffer, I mean, did he shock you as much as he shocked a lot of people playing Physique League?
Well, if you boys remember, I went up to Ismail, and we had talked about him prior. So, the 3 of us, we had spoken about him prior. We knew he was going to enter the show. He hails out of Mexico. He is an OG. And, the past couple of times we've seen Ismail, he's looked good, but like his body, he gave his body a rest, it looks like. And he just came back full. He's got one of those Jeremy Potvin kind of full chest, but it's not overly, as exaggerated as Jeremy, who has a very long pectoral and dense. He's got a dense and like medium size. It's a good look. He's got great delts, great arms. He's peeled. He was peeled. I knew he was serious, bro. 2 times. One, when I said, "Hey, I got Hart on the phone," and he was literally eating his meal outside of the venue, and I went up and we said what's up to him. You said what's up to him, Hart, and I was like, okay, he's locked in. And then the next time it's at weigh-ins, and what is Ismail doing? He's eating a meal by himself, locked in. And I was like, damn, Ish is not playing. I went and sat next to him. We started chopping it up and everything like that. He was like, man, I love your show. I was like, man, we got to have you on. He's like, absolutely, let's do this. And what a vibe. And then I felt him, like nudged him. I was like, damn, he's kind of dense, bro. Like, when you feel someone and they feel ready, they feel like they've got that hardness, that graininess, pause. He had that. And I was like, damn, Ish feels solid. I know he's gonna do his thing. And then when I saw him here, I was like, bro, I got we need this on the show. I got to show this. Like the boys and I, we got to show this. Look at his caps, the cap delts. Look at the arms. I mean, he got up on that stage and he went into his back pose. The level of detail in the back. Oh my God. He had one of the best back in terms of the detail that on the entire stage all day, hands down. He absolutely deserved 3rd place. It wasn't even close. I think the top 3 guys, they were on another level. Corey obviously was on another level. Ryan was on another in a half-ish level, and Martinez was on another level. And everybody else was, there. They were. Wow, I'm impressed to see a guy like that who's been an OG come out swinging like he came out and have that level of dedication to his diet, to the posing, and He just needs some better board shorts. Well, I don't want to say better board. In my opinion, I could see him in some manifest board shorts. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he probably looked pretty good in some manifest, boys.
I'm not knocking any board shorts. I'm just saying I could see him with some manifest board shorts.
I think you definitely could. I mean, take a look at when you look at all stages around the world, like there are so many athletes, especially in that first call out, second call out, they're all rocking those manifests. I spy a new collection coming out with this photo. Like Corey's rocking those almost like Pikachu Thunderbolt style. If that's a taste of things to come, man, I think we got a new collection on our range. But yeah, I'm super impressed with Ismail as well. I didn't realize how long he's been competing for. He's been in the game for like over 10 years or close. I think his first pro show was in 2016. From what I saw yesterday, he's been in the game for a long time. I mean, and you can't scratch him or overlook him.
2014.
Nah, but that's amateur. That's amateur Olympia.
And then 2016, he turned pro, right? Look at the difference in his physique,
difference. Bro. Exactly. Man, and you know what? This is just testament to what I said earlier. This sport is about the long game, about the consistency, being consistent. It's not about instant, gratification, expecting to be in the gym or doing your first show and turning pro and then winning your first pro show. This is about the long game, and you got to be willing to commit to this game for long enough to see it through to your fullest. And, Ismail is a perfect representation of this. I mean, even the posing has gotten so much better. The conditioning has gotten so much better. Just everything. And it showed. I mean, we saw him come third a couple of weeks ago in Colombia, Medellin, right behind Victor Ramirez and Juan Gochez. So he was up against some heavy hitters at that show. Looked really, really good. And obviously the physique continued to get better. I'm sure he's going to do a couple more shows now that he's got some momentum under his belt. And I feel like what he's been able to do in 2026 is some of the best placings that he's ever had. I know he's always 6th to 8th, somewhere around there. So to get 2 third places in a couple of weeks is super impressive for Ismail as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more of him.
The only thing about Ismail that I'm interested to see is when he does his front pose, he almost does that Paul Gustav. Like he doesn't pose like that anymore with the toe facing the judges. He kind of like moves his toe kind of parallel to the front like that. You see how it's going? That's the only thing that's a little off of me. I wonder if there's like a hip impingement or something like that makes him do that, because he used to pose with that leg extended going back. I wonder what happened.
Guys, on the feet work, look at Ismail's foot, look where it's pointed. Look at this gentleman's foot and where it's pointed, and then you look at Corey and you look at Ryan Clark. It is so much more pleasing to the eye when you actually point your foot that's out to the side towards the judges straight on. I don't know why guys are still not doing that. The best guys in the world do that, and there's only one guy in the world that I can think of right now that gets away with still pointing their foot like both the same way, like Paul Gustav used to do, and that's Ali Bilal. But he's a caveat. Like I really think it just looks better to pose like Corey in terms of your feet, pose like Ryan Clark, where that outside foot is more towards the judges, not so much both feet are going like this. And that's a huge thing that still a lot of guys mess up on.
I was just gonna say a couple of things about it though. It's like when your leg is going out to the side like that, you give the judges an opportunity to appreciate the quads and the density in the quad and the quad sweep, and then how it contours down into the calf muscle, and it gives you a much better X. You look like an X with that versus kind of like a Z-ish S kind of thing going. The letter you're trying to mimic with your body is an X frame. And you just kind of take that away when the back leg is bent, crooked, pointed in the wrong direction. Well, pointed in a different direction. I don't want to say the wrong direction, but a different direction. Do what you want. But I think it would have looked better, and I think he would have I don't think it would have changed his placing, because Ryan Clark was just so damn dangerous. If you were to take any of the top 10 guys off the stage, Ryan Clark wins this show, probably. I don't know who do you beat? Who beats him? There's probably a couple of guys that we could think of, maybe 2 or 3 more, 4, maybe max, but not too many guys, I think, if even. He was just on point, bro.
Yeah. I just want to follow on with what you were saying about the foot position boys. But in my eyes, I almost feel like it could be a mobility issue, if anything, because I mean, when you've got this much muscle, and a lot of guys overlook the recovery in the prehab, and when you think about it, you're building muscle over 15, 20 years, going at it every single day at the gym. It is going to wreak some havoc on, your flexibility and your mobility. I almost feel like these guys may need to really just focus on seeing physios, chiros, really just focusing on getting those hips to move a little bit more flexibly and a little bit more freely. That will allow these guys to open the hips and actually be able to put their foot forward. Because I'll be honest with you, I mean, and we've all probably been in the same position. When we all first started competing, our feet naturally fell where it was almost 1 foot at, toward the judges, and the other one was almost at 10 o'clock. Over time, and when you try to move 1 foot out to the left and one to the judge, it almost felt uncomfortable and didn't feel, just normal. And that was due to the fact that, in my eyes, due to flexibility issues, not really being able to open the hips up that much. There you go. You got it as well, Hart. It's just more.
Bro, you were so spot on. You're so spot on.
Yeah, so I feel like if the guys that do struggle with pointing their feet, at 9 and 12, if that is an issue, definitely start to get on top of the recovery, the prehab. Well, more the prehab rather than the recovery, just to really open your hips up. Even if it's 10 weeks before the show, and start to make it more of a routine, it'll definitely help with your posing when you do jump on stage.
Hey, you know what helps a lot of guys, and I know Clarence McSpadden does this, but he does a lot of like mobility training, a lot of like bending and mobility. And in fact, Anna Bendy, Hart's girl, if you want to learn how to just have mobility in your hips, you can go check out her page for free and get some tips, some gems, and some jewels, and learn how to actually open up your hips. Seriously, because as an athlete, the thing you have to be able to do is be comfortable in an uncomfortable position. And it has to feel uncomfortable. That's how you know you're doing it right. Your back lat, hand off of the hip, has to come around where the judges can see that lat. That's uncomfortable. You have to have the dexterity in your waist in order to twist like that and keep your lat flared. In addition to that, the hips, like you're talking about, Phil, with the foot placement. If you have an impingement, that's going to mess up your look. You no longer have an X frame. You have like a crooked I frame, So my humble opinion, check out Anna Bendy. Look at that. I mean, great for hip mobility. Come on now. Anna, what's up?
Spot on. I just sent her a photo. She's going to be stoked. But seriously, I mean, stretching and your flexibility should be just as important to you as drinking water, yet no one really does it because it's not a quick payoff. It takes time to open up the body, but again, it's the most important thing I feel like people should be doing for the body. And yeah, course drops on Sunday if you guys want to check that out, or just go free. There's hundreds of videos here that you guys can go through and open up your body. Because for me, Phil, you're exactly right. The reason why I had struggled posing, even with my feet, my footwork, my hips are extremely, extremely tight. Talking about being tight and talking about being broken, but still standing up no matter what.
Let's go.
Aleem Amin. Oh my Lord. The first time I've ever messed up your name.
The mean Aleem. There we go.
The Kappa met a legend today. Tell us about this.
Man, Ronnie Coleman. Okay, Mr. Ronnie Coleman to y'all. Ronnie Coleman was in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And, he's a big fan of all bodybuilding, as we know. He watches all the divisions. He's a big fan of men's physique. I mean, I had to slow myself down. I was so hyped. I'm like stealing his, buddy, lightweight from him. I'm like, I'm supposed to have him say it.
He's going to start charging you royalties for that, mate.
Say that again?
He's going to start charging you royalties for using that line.
I know, right?
Expect a lawyer letter in the mail.
Right? Like, come on, guy. I did it right in front of you. Come on. I didn't do behind your back. But no, I'm joking. It was such an honor to meet Ronnie Coleman, one of the pioneers of our industry. I mean, when you think about the Mount Rushmore of bodybuilding influencers, of all time that have paved the wave and really set the motion of what bodybuilding is today, Ronnie Coleman is right on that list. I mean, you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger, you've got Ronnie Coleman right on that list, right? You've got a couple other guys too, but those two, absolutely. And Ronnie Coleman, man, what a fun guy to be around. He cracks jokes. I mean, we had banter after this and all like that. He's a stand-up guy. I love Ronnie Coleman, man, and he's a straight shooter. Yeah, buddy. Okay, that's all. That's all I gotta say. Lightweight. Let's go.
Ain't nothing but a peanut.
Right. Yo, man, it was phenomenal. And speaking of legends, we had a legend talk about Hart McGrath. Our Hart McGrath. Can you just play a little bit of that, please?
It won't have sound, but
Okay.
yeah.
But I mean, listen to Ryan Terry give his true, honest feeling and emotion about how you've impacted him, bro. Remember, Phil, remember when we were on and we had Amy and Ryan? Of course you remember that, but what was the question I asked, bro? What was the first question?
Was the one who was in regards to the guy who helped you or allowed you or pushed you to win your first title? Was it that one?
Push you, yeah. Who was more influential pushing you to want to win your first title? Was it Amy or Hart McGrath? And what did she say, bro? What did both of them say simultaneously? Damn it,
This man right here,
Hart McGrath, our Hart McGrath. Okay, our brother. That's the impact. Hart, how many chips has Ryan Terry won since you pushed him and called him out?
Yeah, 2023, his first Olympia. I said I'd be damned to see Terry in the top 7. I didn't think he was going to get top 7, and for some reason he was watching the channel back in the day, and he said that lit a fire under his ass. I think I have it pinned here on my profile.
Hold on one second. I got to get a plug for my computer. Give me 1 second.
Yep. It was this one here.
Mhm.
This was back in 2023. Look at that, November 9th, 2023. I never thought my words would mean this much to Ryan Terry. This was his first title, and he left me a really long voicemail just saying, like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had this fire under my ass. And Phil, me and you were talking about it earlier. It's crazy to think that he listens to us like this and our words mean this much to the champ. You know, pretty cool stuff.
It's cool. It's cool the impact that we've been able to make as a collective, and even more so, like, you've been doing this for a long time, and you know, you were the flame under this guy's butt to get him going, and now we've seen what he's been able to do. We've been able to see the impact that he's been able to make, not only to men's physique, but also to bodybuilding. No, I'm not pausing that one. I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping it in.
What?
Yeah, we're keeping that one in.
What did I walk in on?
You came at the wrong time. But pause.
That's what she said.
What's the pause count on this video? I wonder. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be able to see Ryan Terry, watch the video, and really, it's enough to motivate him and push him even harder, because we know what happens in a prep. All three of us have done preps, multiple preps before, and we know at this point of the prep, the mental games come to start to kick in. The hunger's kicking in. You're emotional. You're stressed. You're worried if you're going to make it in time. And to hear words like this, I know you said, Hart, and that's strange. Hearing a man say that your words motivate him. And I told you straight out, I'm like, it's not strange, because words do have power. And if it's enough to get someone off the couch, whether it be someone who's never been to the gym before and now they're making some lifestyle changes to their daily routine to help them create a better life for themselves. If it's someone who's just an NPC competitor jumping on stage for the first time, or even more so, a 3-time Mr. Olympia champion looking to claim his 4th and go in history as the greatest of all time to ever do it. It doesn't matter who you are as a person. Words will always impact people in different ways. And we're so glad and thrilled to see Ryan watch this video. It's enough to get him going and keep him motivated. We saw it many times. He said it many times in this video that, it gave him goosebumps. So if Ryan Terry wins that 4th Mr. Olympia title, we're going to say
he's going to DM you for that. He's going to DM you for saying if.
When, lucky I can edit this out. When Ryan Terry wins the 4th one, he's going to go on the record. We're going to go on the record and say it was because of Hart McGrath again.
Boys, I appreciate the words so much, and I probably should have let that pause a little bit longer, but I think the reason why this Mr. Olympia and Terry winning is such a big deal is because just because he ties Jeremy Buendia, it doesn't mean that he is like even with Jeremy Buendia. Because you got to think about it's you get what I'm saying with this? Go ahead, Aleem, take this. What am I trying to tell the people right here?
Bro, the era that we're in right now and the level of competition is at such an all-time high. It is the all-time high.
And how many shows in Arnold's has he won?
Bro, he's won. First of all, he's won 3 Olympias in a row in the toughest era of men's physique, period. I don't think it can get too much tougher than what it is right now because any more size on the athletes, it becomes classic physique. So this is like the max. In addition to that, he's won Arnold's. He won 2 Arnold's, right?
So he's won 2 Arnold's. Sure. He's won a New York Pro. I think he came second in a Pittsburgh Pro. He's gone to Asia and won an Asian Grand Prix over there. So this guy's conquered basically every continent around the world with major pro show wins. How many athletes in this division have been able to do so? Not many.
Brandon's been able to do it. That's it. On that level, on the level that we're talking, on the highest level, Olympia level, Arnold level, like collectively, not either or, both, and also in Asia, and here in the States. I mean, that's why he's the standard, bro. And what really makes me warm and fuzzy inside is the fact that RT hits us all up. You know, when I said, hey, you know, RT, like, be careful. We don't want to see you lose a toe out there, you know, getting busy in your backyard and stuff. He sent us an email. I mean, a voice message, right? So cool of him, right? Phil says something. He reaches out, you know, or he'll just reach out. You know, like this post right here with Hart, like, he rocks with us. And we rock with him because he's a family guy. He's honorable. He carries himself with excellence, with dignity. You see he puts the work in. Like the muscles don't just come out of nowhere. The guy is putting in work as the champion. How many guys are wired that way? Chris Bumstead was. Ronnie Coleman was. You know, I'm sorry, I'm just talking about greats right now, right? Ronnie Coleman was. Schwarzenegger, right? You look at the guys, Lee Haney, Linda Murray, Sid Gillen. You look at people who have gone on historic runs, and what's the driving factor for them to like keep winning back to back to back and not lose? Like, what is the driving factor for them? Because people will win and then lose and then win and then lose, you know, and then maybe lose. This guy is on the street. He's the standard, and in my humble opinion, boys, and I think that the mass horde audience, the mass men's physique audience, the mass bodybuilding audience would all agree that if anyone were to get their 4th title this year and everybody would be happy, it's Ryan Terry. It's RT. I think maybe 1 or 2 people on the entire planet wouldn't be happy, maybe. And I don't even think Brandon is one of those people. And if anyone would be, it would probably be him. But I think he would respect it because he has an immense amount of respect for RT and vice versa. But I mean, I think he has an immense amount of respect for him. So that's my 2 cents, boys. That's my 2 cents. That's where I'm coming from. Well, I know we're hitting you a little bit here, Hart, but you know, where's your head at with all of this?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I agree. If Terry wins this, he's the best men's physique athlete in the world forever. I mean, until the next guy, I guess, does it. But he's the number one, and there isn't a debate anymore. Would you agree, Phil?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the guy has walked the walk for years on end. I mean, we've seen him come out of, he had his lows, he's had his highs, he's gone back to his lows, but the main thing is he kept one foot in front of the other and kept moving forward. When things weren't going his way, where he was placing, 5th to 8th in the Olympia. I mean, that's enough to break people. Say they know enough's enough. Maybe I'm not good enough to make it to the top, and against all the odds, he was able to do so. And to your point, Gaffer, I mean, he's the man of the people. He's so relatable to a lot of people. He's a family man. I know we say it all the time, and I know a lot of people around the world say it all the time. Ryan's probably sick of hearing he's the people man or the man of the family man, but that's the reality of it. And the fact that he's so relatable and he just doesn't let the wins and he doesn't let the championships get to his head, and he just keeps grinding. I think that's what makes a champion. To your point, Gaffer, you named a lot of big names, but I think the main if we put them all under an umbrella, it's legacy. The one thing that all these athletes want to leave behind is a legacy, and that's what they've all done. And I know Ryan Terry is one of those athletes as well that want to do the same.
Speaking of legacy, check out this dope Atlanta Pro shirt, Linda Murray's Atlanta Pro shirt.
That's dope.
Skyline, Atlanta skyline right there.
Gaffer,
Boys, I can't wait for you guys to come to the A.
We're going to be there very, very soon.
Magic City.
Pause. Before we round this one up, I wanted to show you guys something because it did pop up on my Instagram a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about doing a reel, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just keep this one under wraps, and when we do our show, and I'll show the horde at the same time. But tell me if you guys can see my. Do you do window hard or do you screen, or what do you do? What do you press?
I do window.
Window.
And I hope this is a picture of you in your boxers or something hot like that.
It's definitely better than that. Take a look at this. You guys see this? Know who this guy is?
Yeah.
Jushin He.
I can tell that Jushin He face from a mile away.
Jushin He. So he was in the gym. I don't know if this is an old video, but it was uploaded a day ago, where he decided to not mock, but kind of mimic his fellow countryman, Zhao Hang. Take a look at this posing. Are we going to see a new posing routine from Jushin He at the 2026 Mr. Olympia? Because he's nailed it. And then I don't know what this is. I don't know if he thinks he just could not hold. He just could not hold the pose long enough. But yeah, I was thinking about this. I'm like, will we see that Zhao finger points at the 2026 Mr. Olympia? We're gonna find out soon enough. But yeah,
dude, he nailed that.
Yeah, you know what he's missing?
Tell me.
The cigarette.
Yeah,
the cigarette and makeup.
The cigarette. That's right.
Take a look at the way that he's just wrapped that hand around.
Dude, he nailed that.
Absolutely.
He nailed that perfectly.
He killed it. Oh my God, that's so funny. Boys, this was amazing. As always. Wow, a lot of stuff. Oh, so we have footage. We were also boots on the ground collectively with Olympia TV today and this weekend. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to be moving and creating partnerships with everybody.
Very grateful.
Suki from BTS, amazing. Got a big shout out to Suki. Definitely one of our ride or dies. Yeah, Suki is horde member quality for sure.
And a shout out to Suki. I mean, we love what he does over there at BTS. I mean, covers all the divisions, and that's what we're here for. I mean, we're not competition. We're all here to make the sport better than it ever was before, and to have partnerships and alliances with guys like BTS is absolutely amazing. And even with Olympia TV, Wings of Strength as well, who have been able to collaborate with them throughout the weekend, and we're looking forward to seeing more of those collaborations and partnerships throughout the 2026 season and beyond. But we couldn't have done that or any of what we're doing without you guys. Without the horde, none of this would have been possible. None of this would have been a reality. So, guys, thank you so much to the horde members that continue to show up every single day, every single week. Heart, pull it up. All 38,767 of you. We are so grateful for you guys. And guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Men's Physique Show YouTube channel, make sure to do so now. Tap the bell icon so that you're one of the first to see. What's that, timeout? You timeouted me?
Just real quick. Can we ask the horde members and all of the Men's Physique world to get us to 50,000 before the Olympia?
Facts. We need your help to do so.
Please. We need your help.
Right.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your countrymen, tell your enemies. Everybody rocks with Men's Physique. Come on now. Who doesn't want a beach bod? Stop playing. All right? Girls want to see it. Guys want to have it, and it's the level of dedication that we all can agree is necessary and as a blueprint for anything that we do in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
That level of dedication, commitment, and sacrifice is what takes us in any aspects, any facets of our lives to the highest tiers that we can possibly reach. And that's what Men's Physique and the Horde is all about. So please subscribe, smash the bell so you're always notified, and really, really show your commitment to our channel. It motivates us. It's great for our partners. And wow, how incredible would it be to say, like, we all came together and in less than 10 months, we hit 40,000? Unheard of.
Crazy.
Unheard of.
I think we've said it a couple of times. Definitely got to be one of the fastest growing bodybuilding channels on YouTube. That's for sure. But yeah, like I said, guys, we could not have done any of that without your help. So like Gaffer said, do all those 3 things. Also take a screenshot, add it to your Instagram story, tag the Men's Physique Show official, Hart McGrath, Aline Bolton, and Philip Naselli, and we'll help promote that on our Instagram stories. And then last but not least, a special thank you to all the guys helping us power the show. I'm rocking my Manifest Spider-Man tee. I watched Spider-Man last night. Gaffer's got the shorts. Hart's probably wearing the shorts, but make sure to go to Manifest Board Shorts. Get yourself a pair of the board shorts, the best board shorts in the game. Use the code MPSHOW at the checkout for a discount and to help support the show. Next is Metabolic Supplements, the best health supplements in the market. They've got a health, a kidney, a heart, and a new product coming out soon. So stay tuned for that one. Physique Fitness, Physique, and the swaggiest doctor over in the States, Dr. Campbell at the Center of Wellness and Pain Care. All the discount codes and links are in the description below. What are you snacking on there, Gaffer?
Oh, I got these alpha cookies, bro. I got the Pinky Alpha cookie. Man, tastes good. Shout out to Alpha Cookie, the official cookie of the Men's Physique Show. Let's go.
And that's it, guys. Thank you again for making it to the end of the episode. Enjoy the rest of the morning, the afternoon, the evening, whatever time you guys are watching this one. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.